In my last video, I went ahead and provided some of my theories and speculations for the game Wuthering Waves just based on what I saw. And funny enough, my theory about the main characters appear to be true as Kuro Game or Wuthering Waves officially posted the main characters to their Twitter. So I found that to be really cool. And in today's video, I wanted to go ahead and provide my sound theory. I believe sound is the core integral part of this game and affects everything that you do within Wuthering Waves and is going to be a key part in the story. And so I wanted to go ahead and talk about it with you guys and get your thoughts and opinions. As always, take everything that I state in this video with a massive grain of salt, as this is just my speculation and assumption. So the first part that I wanted to go ahead and tackle is the name of the game itself, Wuthering Waves. If we take a look at the definition of wuthering, it translates to blowing strongly with a roaring sound. I'm interpreting that as blowing strongly with a roaring sound waves. And that is the way I'm interpreting the title of the game. And you can see that within the trailer and the gameplay in many different places. So the first one that I did want to go ahead and show, it's this scene right here where, in my opinion, it appears as if there is a massive sound wave about to strike this character right here, which I believe her name is Yan Yan. If I mispronounce, I do apologize. And it appears to strike her with great force, with a wuthering wave. And the text, "What is dead will stay buried." You can see the hat floating, and the atmosphere as well looks like waves or sound waves, in my opinion. And then the text, "Except nothing ever truly dies." I'm going to go ahead and touch on that here in just a second, because I think I might have a theory about that text as well and what's going on in this specific scene. But you can see the gourd is giving that alert or giving that warning, and I think the gourd is indicating the sound waves. I think the gourd is indicating these echoes, and you can see what appears to be, once again, a wuthering wave or sound wave about to strike our character here. And you can see strikes with great force, and it causes our character great pain or agony, and it appears that the main character is trying to contain or maintain whatever is happening. And once again, I'm going to touch on this scene more in depth here in just a second, but that is what I believe is happening. A massive sound wave or wuthering wave is hitting this character and is causing them great pain or suffering. And then of course the text that says, "Which part will you save?" But there's more. Now, if we head over to Twitter, you can see, which is very interesting, the ability of the main character, Vessel of Sound, seemingly capable of absorbing all sounds in the world. Now, here's one of my theories, and you can let me know what you guys think down below. The gourd is able to absorb sounds or sound waves or dispel them. You can see when the sound waves is coming, the gourd is setting off that alarm or that indication, and I think it's alerting of the sound. I think the gourd can tell when there's a massive wuthering wave or sound wave coming, but I also think the gourd or the sword can absorb the sound waves or absorb the wuthering waves. Moving over to the gameplay, what you'll be able to notice is that virtually every move that these characters do within the gameplay has what appears to be some type of what appears to me as a sound wave. I noticed this before, but I never really gave it too much thought until just recently. All the way down to even the grappling hook, in my opinion. As you can see, the outline and the shape of it. Now, this may be a stretch, but in my opinion, it looks very similar to this right here. I don't know. Once again, this could be a massive stretch, but it looks, in my opinion, very, very similar to this right here, which I'm not sure what this is. I'm sure we'll find out. Now, we have the male character striking here, and this is something that I noticed as well, is that you can see the sound waves here emanating, and then it appears, here's the sound wave, and then it appears that this male character, and we'll see this with the female character as well, some way harnesses it within his palm or his hands. Here's the sound wave, and is able to do an ability and explode it right here as like a charged up attack and explode the sound. And you can see it here as well. He harnesses it within his palm or his hand, and just emanates it, explodes, it emanates as a sound wave, and it blows the enemies back. I found that to be very interesting. And I'm not too sure how that ability is going to work. I'm not sure if it takes a number of attacks, a bar to fill up, a skill that you have that you unlock or that you level up. But as you can see, just about every attack that you do has some type of sound wave emanating from it. And one other thing that I did want to point out that I noticed as well are these enemies. But if you take a look at a lot of these enemies in the gameplay, a lot of them don't appear to have eyes, or if they do, they're extremely small. And that leads me to believe that these enemies might attack or be able to pinpoint your location by sound, which once again, I could be wrong about that. Not entirely too sure, because once again, they don't really appear to have eyes, or if they do, they're extremely small. Just a theory that I had, just an observation that I wanted to make. But again, all of these attacks appear to be sound waves, sound emitting, at least from these main characters. Sound explosions, harnessing of sound and exploding it, and that would lead to the description that we saw about the abilities of the main characters being able to harness and utilize sound, maybe, and it being stored in the gourd or being utilized by the sword, the power of Niellor. Touching on this character right here, okay, I have to back it up first before we can talk about him. Earlier in the video, I said I was going to touch on the text here and what's happening in this scene specifically. I didn't realize this beforehand, but this is a theory of mine, another theory, where the text states, "What is dead will stay buried," and that is where the sound wave just struck her. And then this text where it says, "Except nothing truly ever dies," and then we have this amazing scene right here. Now, this is my theory about that whole scene that just happened, and then what is left untouched by all this pain, and then let the echo be heard. My theory about all of what just happened is that I believe they're called Calamans, once again, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think they're trying to kill her. I don't believe that's what's happening in this scene. What I believe what's happening in this scene is that the Wuthering wave, or the sound wave that struck our character, and what they're stating in this text, "What is dead will stay buried, except nothing ever truly dies." I think that what they're trying to state here is that they're not trying to kill her. They're trying to transform her into one of them. And they do that by the Wuthering waves, by the sound wave that's striking her. And the gourd is indicating that, and the gourd is trying to protect her. The sword is trying to protect her. And I think that's what's happening here. I think they are trying to change her into one of them. And I think this might be only able to be done by these characters that have said symbol on them. So maybe not all the characters that we get in the game, but maybe just the main characters that we have that have these symbols can be transformed into them. And I think they're chasing her. I think they're trying to get her, not to kill her, but to transform her into one of them through the Wuthering waves and the sound waves. Now, I think either the gourd or the power of the sword is able to help mitigate or absorb those sound waves, and it allows her to be able to fight it. And that's why I'm not too sure if it's the gourd or the sword. I'm probably pretty certain it might be the gourd, but it's just because they say the power of the sword, Niellor, but the gourd might be able to absorb it as well. It might be a combination. And you can see she's able to suppress it, and then she's like coming back to consciousness here, and then she realizes what's going on and what's happening. And that's why you don't necessarily see them ferociously trying to attack her right now. I think they're trying to transform her into one of them. Now, I state that also because of this scene right here. This, what appears to be an apparent boss fight or boss scene, which this might even be the beginning of the game, possibly, where we see said symbols in the background that are very similar to what's on the main characters. And you can see they're front and center, they're prevalent, and then we have this guy right here. My theory is that these symbols are obviously connected to our main characters, maybe their race, maybe where they came from, and these individuals, the enemies that we fight, and this boss right here, they used to be what our characters currently are. And the Wuthering Waves or the Sound Waves, whatever it is, overtook them. The Calamity, the Calamans overtook them and changed them or morphed them into what they are now and what we're fighting. And the reason I also state that is because look at the said movement of this boss. Look at the way he moves. You see this dodge? You see the bit of after images? Now, this could be just the game and the way dodges are, and everybody has after images. But to me, that's very, very similar to our main characters, their after images and what they leave behind when they do attacks or when they dodge. Just something that I noticed. Look at our main character moving and dodging and attacking. After images, smoke. I should say the smoke-like effect is extremely similar. More sound waves that are emanating from attacks. The symbol in the back. This character, and I can't tell if this is an actual symbol. That's a stretch for me, right? I'm just looking for like a said symbol that's very similar to like our character here that has a symbol on the shoulder. And then we have more sound waves here with the dodge. Here we go. The sound waves. Black smoke, the clash. To me, it's just all very interesting. And it's a clear indication that sound is, I want to say, almost everything within this game. I like this part as well because you can see this is almost like a very powered up charge attack skill that they're charging up, obviously, with a lot of sound and being able to strike with a lot of force and being able to knock this boss up or this enemy. That's my sound theory. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to drop a like. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. If you enjoy these type of videos and you want to see more Wuthering Waves content and you want to stay tapped in with all the news and stay up to date with the information, make sure you sub to the channel. Would love to have you stick around and be a part of the FBG family. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Remember to stand out, be different, have fun, go further beyond in everything that you do. My name is Cody. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.